doing a terrific job with not only the 4 ranked wins in SEC play, but also in non-conference as well. Just a terrific interim season and a great coaching staff around her as she took over the position as interim coach in July of this year. And her team is playing hard and has been fun to watch. Johnny Harris is in her first season, of course, at Auburn, a longtime assistant coach for so many successful programs, and trying to instill that culture, that defensive mindset here. They've got an upset of their own and a big win over Tennessee earlier, and as I mentioned, just coming off that tough loss, last-second loss at Arkansas, as Florida gets the first possession of the game. The pink jerseys for Auburn for the Play for K night, and Florida in their black uniforms. The drive high off the backboard, offensive rebound and put back. Good work on the boards for Florida's Ricards, and she had a great game the first time these two met.
Absolutely a great game. And one thing that's going to be important for both teams, Brenda, because they are both stout defensive teams, what's important in this game is going to be offensive rebounds. Who's going to create more possessions for their team?
You saw the starting lineup pop up there for Auburn. Wells, Hughes, Coulibaly, Jordan, and Scott Grayson. As we take a look at Florida's starting lineup, Kiki Smith there off the dribble. Broughton, who's been terrific in SEC play, Ricards, Merritt, and Dute. Auburn, that win over Tennessee, their only win in SEC play. They're 7-5 at home on the season, as Coulibaly drives in to get the first basket for Auburn, and Florida down the court quickly.
And that's exactly where they're going to look, right to Coulibaly. That's a part of her versatility, her ability to be able to take you off the bounce. And she's just so dynamic and so strong when attacking the basket.
Wells pulls up off the mark, and then a collision as the ball is saved. Jordan goes to the floor. Great hustle play, but good thing everybody gets up okay.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of that hustle from both squads, and yeah, just right over the back there of Zippy Broughton. But like you said, Brenda, everybody's okay.
Yeah, good to see. Broughton has been so good in SEC play. We'll show you her numbers later on, comparing non-conference to conference play. Scott Grayson with the miss. Ricards pulling it back out. Jumper, in and out. And a foul on Jordan Merritt. Sanaya Wells, the point guard for Auburn, calling out the play. She averages just under 10 points per game. She's coming off a game where she scored 6 points and had 3 assists at Arkansas as they go inside. Good move by Coulibaly.
Great move by Coulibaly, and I love that. Getting that high percentage shot to Coulibaly right there in the paint. She got great position.
Florida started 2 for their first 3 field goal attempts, but have missed their last 3. And then an offensive foul away from the ball on Dute.
Well, Coulibaly, we told you, she can do it everywhere. Hit her first shot from the outside, and you see here, great move, spin right there to the middle for the shot.
So that foul was actually on Jordan Merritt, her second foul.
Look at Kiki Smith and her defense, just how aggressive she is and how far out she is. putting a lot of pressure there.
Wells has it blocked inside. Dute was there in the paint. Second attempt won't go. And missed shots on both ends as both teams trying to find a rhythm, and then a foul called on the rebound attempt.
Just look at Kiki Smith here. Tough defense, just has her hands all in the cookie jar, giving Sanaya Wells a lot of pressure and able to get that stop.
Annie Hughes picked up the foul on the other end. Rimdahl into the game there on the drive, and no call. Scott Grayson kicks out. Hughes back to Scott Grayson, who knocks down the jumper.
And it's huge for Scott Grayson to get buckets. She is the Robin to Coulibaly's Batman. When Coulibaly isn't scoring, what matters is who steps up and can score next. And honestly, Scott Grayson is the best in that position.
6-0 run for Auburn as they take the lead. Scott Grayson with the rebound. Three-pointer short for Jordan. Florida's missed their last 7 shots. A foul called on Sanaya Wells, so it will be Florida basketball when we come back, but
but you got to credit them coming together as a team, and then the coaching of Finley.
Yeah. Kelly Ray Finley and her staff have just done a remarkable job with this program. With the win over Mississippi State that they just had, it's the first time in school history that Florida has won against Kentucky, Mississippi State, LSU, Tennessee, and Georgia, all in the same season. Knocked away. Kiki Smith on the run, kicks back. Out top, and the splash of a three. That's the first three-pointer of the game for Florida, and it's Floor Tonders. That's her first three-point made of the year.
And Coach talked about it. She said she is a good outside shooter, especially when you watch her games that she has played overseas. But she steps up and she plays big minutes when her number is called. So after Florida had missed 8 shots in a row, they get the maybe unlikely three-pointer from Tonders. They're just coming right off the bench, and they give her so much space, and she says, you got to respect me. I can knock it down from out here.
Asia, she had a good game against Auburn the first time they played. She had 8 points, 4 for 5 from the field, but she actually has not been scoring well. She has not scored in the last 5 games, so must be something about playing Auburn as she hit the big three to stop the scoring drought. And the bank shot goes in, the foul committed. Coulibaly will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, Coulibaly just catches right here at the high post and attacks hard and strong, and she leads the team in free throw attempts. So that tells you how aggressive she is and how hard she goes to the basket.
She's made all 3 of her shots from the field, Coulibaly, so far. Misses that free throw, though. But it's off Florida. tough shot.
Brenda, they ran that same exact play in the first time, and Coulibaly got them with that fake and that move, and she tried to do the same thing this time, but credit Auburn and the scouting. They did a great job stopping that.
Tonder's going to go for another three. This time it's off. Scott Grayson pushing it ahead. Scott Grayson. Smith pushing it out. Florida 18-6 overall. They're 8-3 in the conference, just a half game out of third right now, as Ricard's able to drive into the paint, and Florida has not lost on the road in SEC play. They're 5-0 away from Gainesville.
And that's tough. That's a tough point you made there, Brenda, because you always have to be, they say the road wins are always the tough ones. They're the important ones. You always have to be 10 points better on the road, and you just credit Florida and how hard they compete.
Jump ball possession, Auburn. On Wednesday night, our men's basketball doubleheader on the SEC Network starts at 7 Eastern with Georgia at the Maravich Center to take on Darius Days, Tari Eason, and LSU. Then Jabari Smith and number 2 Auburn host Vandy. You can always watch these games on the ESPN app. Wells pulls up, splashes one down. That's the first basket for Sanaya Wells.
And Sanaya Wells at the point guard position, which she's not used to, is a very capable scorer, as we've seen there.
All the way to the rim for that one, and she's fouled. Good work getting to the rim.
Just a great look and a great attack down here by De Oliveira, and just able to draw that contact and get right there to the free throw line.
Manu De Oliveira averaging about 5 points per game. She's coming off her SEC high 13 points against Mississippi State, as she connects on the first free throw. Coulibaly picked up the foul on the drive. Manu makes both free throws and will have a seat. Florida pulls within one. And a foul on Florida on the rebound. Good activity from Jayla Jordan to force that one. Weish picks up the foul for the Gators. Tip inside, nice inbounds play for Auburn as they stretch the lead.
Yeah, greatly executed there on the inbound.
Coulibaly now with 8 points in the first quarter of play. And Broughton was able to get to the rim. Nice answer for Florida.
And that's exactly what Florida needs to continue to do, is get inside the paint, whether they get the bucket or draw the contact and get to the free throw line, not settle for outside shots.
Step back for Wells. Bryden gets the screen, can't hit that one. And a tie-up jump ball. Possession arrow will stay here for Florida, but Zippy Broughton has been so tough through conference play.
Yeah, Zippy Broughton able to hit clutch buckets when it's needed. And you see here just driving right, attacking hard, and getting the layup.
You look at her numbers and compare between non-conference play, non-conference, the transfer from Rutgers 5.5 in SEC play, 14.2 points per game.
And Brenda, she missed the first 2 games in conference play that they lost, and as soon as she came in against A&M, was clutch, and then since then has been clutch. That shows you her impact that she has on the game.
Christina Moore hit the 3 on the other end, and then Auburn answers with its first 3 of the game from Jayla Jordan. 10 seconds remaining in this entertaining first quarter. It's typically you would think a defensive battle between these two, but they've been able to score some points as we've got a 17-16 score at the end of the first quarter. It's a play for K game. Auburn, a lot of good things going on at Auburn right now. The men's basketball program, number 2 in the country, and this Tiger squad up on number 17 Florida here in the first quarter, and the fans enjoying it early. Hughes from the top of the key.
It's great execution there by Auburn. Hughes just came right up that elevator screen, and that was a great screen by the 2 posts, and she was able to get wide open and knock down the 3.
Kiki Smith shut off and blocked, but a whistle and a foul inside as Broughton drove again to the paint. Foul was called on Annie Hughes. That's her second, so she will have a seat.
And that's very important because Auburn, their team, they don't go deep into their bench, so watch out for the foul trouble.
A 3-pointer good for Auburn. This time coming into the game, Christina Moore knocks down the 3. Scott Grayson gets her own rebound. And Graves into the game, brings it out for another possession for Auburn. And it will stay on this end. Our officials tonight, Mark Zentz, Bev Roberts, Carlina Tobin. Auburn had just 1 offensive rebound in the first quarter. They've had 3 on this possession alone, Asia.
Yeah, very important, but when they do get those second chance opportunities, don't just settle for an outside jumper like they did in the recent possession. Get the ball into the paint. That's what Coach Harris said she wants them to do this game, just like they do now. That was a great drive and attack there by Honesty Scott Grayson.
The quick answer, Rimdahl misses. You know, when we talked about this game early, Asia, we knew it was a close game between these two in Gainesville, and both teams have continued to have close games. And, you know, you mentioned this off air, but Auburn has been able to compete with everybody in the conference.
Yeah, just tight matchups, but when it came down to it, I think the problem is, I think fatigue played a little role, but Coach talked a lot about just the experience and the decisions that they've made down the stretch that just weren't correct decisions, silly things like committing stupid fouls, turning the ball over, things like that that is correctable that can get them the wins.
And you see the results from that last meeting on January 13th. Smith and Ricards led the way for Florida. Koulibaly was the only player for Auburn in double figures, but Florida went on that 8-0 run in the last 104, but that was when Koulibaly had already fouled out, and then later Scott Grayson fouled out, so Auburn did not have their best 2 players on the court in that last minute of play.
And there wasn't a lot of balanced scoring amongst the Auburn players, so like you said, Coulibaly and Scott Grayson, they were the main scorers. So when they were out of the game, there was so much time left where they didn't have those two options on the offensive end.
Faith Dute picked up her first foul to send Coulibaly to the free throw line. Coulibaly on the season, a 65% free throw shooter. She's 1 for 2 in the early going tonight. Broughton, pull-up jumper, gets it to go.
She just has such a nice pull-up jumper, and this is what I love about Florida. It doesn't matter if it's a turnover or not. They're going to look either way to push the ball in transition, and Auburn has to do a better job getting back.
Offensive foul called on Auburn. Here's Broughton again.
Yeah, just that slight hesitation move right there. She was able to get Coulibaly changing levels and out of a defensive stance, but she was able to go right by her for the basket.
So that offensive foul was the second on Coulibaly, so she went to the bench with 9 points. Knocked out of bounds by Auburn. Zippy Broughton, we have talked about how good her numbers have been, but interestingly enough, she scored in double figures 7 of the last 8 games. The one game she didn't score in double figures was against Auburn the first time they played. She just had 4 points. That was coming off that great 20-point effort against A&M. So Auburn's the only team she hasn't scored double figures against in the last 8 games, but she's going to try to do it here in the first half as she knocks down that three-pointer.
7 points for Broughton right now. I mean, she is dominating on the offensive end right now for Florida.
It's a lot of offensive rebounds for Auburn, but they just can't connect. Only 5 second chance points, even though they have 8 offensive rebounds.
And with Coulibaly being out now you have to see who's going to step up and who's going to get those buckets.
So the Smith layup on the other end puts Florida ahead. They're pushing pace really in favor of Florida right now, but we've talked about Zippy Broughton and how well she is shooting. And let's take a look back at that three.
Clutch shot from Zippy Broughton, just a kick out right there, and she just knocks it down with all the confidence and as she should be, because that is what she has been doing all season in the SEC play.
To the foul on Jordan for Auburn. You can see her numbers already tonight. Jordan Merritt at the free throw line. She went to the bench early, picking up 2 early fouls. So this is her first shot attempt since she got the second free throw to go. A 6'3" sophomore out of Plano, Texas. 6-0 Florida run, stopped by Honesty Scott Grayson.
And that's a great shot for her. I love her coming off with the ball screen and getting into that one dribble pull-up.
Florida had made its last 3 three-pointers in a row before missing that one. We're all tied up here at Auburn Arena, along with Asia Ellison. I'm Brenda Van Lingen, and it's fun. Honesty Scott Grayson just hit that last shot. My broadcast partner today actually played with her earlier in her career. We'll talk about that at some point today as Jordan Merritt able to score for Florida. Get a chance to reminisce a little bit, right, Asia?
Yes, I'm so excited about that. It was a long time ago. But
offensive foul on Florida. It seems like it was yesterday. That's right. Merritt just picked up her 3rd foul on that offensive foul.
Checking in for Florida, number 11.
Let's have another look at it here. Oh yeah, that's a great call and great charge take there for Sanaya Wells. Just stepped right in and was able to take the charge. Got great position outside the restricted area.
Turnover for Auburn. Back-to-back turnovers for the Tigers. Johnny Harris looking on. It's a play for K game tonight. All the pink. Johnny Harris actually coached under Kay Yao one season early in her career. We had a chance to talk to her about that. Broughton misses that one. That one is deflected out of bounds.
There's a timeout.
Johnny Harris squad will have the basketball when we come back. They're down 2 here in the second quarter. He wanted to honor her tonight along with this Play for K effort, all the good things that are happening with that, but just all the great head coaches that Johnny Harris has had the opportunity to work for and bolstered their programs from Kay Yao, the legendary Kay Yao, but also Gary Blair and Vic Schaefer. And now Johnny Harris has her time, and she is trying to build the culture here and the work ethic as Sanaya Wells hits that jumper. And she said, you know, this team thinks they're playing as hard as they can, but it's my job to get them to play even harder and to realize how hard they truly can work.
And that's just a great mindset to have as a coach, because outside looking in, it does look like we're looking at them like they play extremely hard. You know, they're competing. But Coach Harris is like, no, I know my squad, and I know that they can give a lot more effort.
So the foul on Precious Johnson, her first. Manu de Oliveira at the free throw line for the Gators. De Oliveira last year was stuck in Brazil. She had gone home when COVID-19 came on the scene in 2020, and even though there were numerous attempts and canceled visa appointments and others, she was not able to get back last season. So good to see her back in Gainesville.
And she was there in spirit, and they even had a cardboard cutout of her that they would sit on the sidelines, that she was always there in practice and there in game. Not sure exactly where she was in game. Might have been on the bench. They could have folded the cardboard to make it sit. I don't know, but they always made it so that she would be able to still be there and still be a part of the team, even though in Brazil.
Yeah, that's a really special thing that her teammates did for her. Kiki Smith stole that one away, and she is off to the races. She's been pretty quiet so far tonight. Just now 4 points for the star for Florida.
And she does her best when she's in transition and getting those fast break points, but that starts with a stop. So the more steals that she gets, the more production we're going to see from her offensively.
It's a 12-4 run for the Gators. Shot clock winding down. Jordan Strong, Precious Johnson tied up. And possession arrow in favor of Florida. And let's watch this steal from Kiki Smith. She hasn't gotten a lot of opportunities in the half court, but she created her own.
Not a lot of opportunities, but I like this one. She just steals the ball, going coast to coast and able to get the finish. Nice transition play there.
You know, at the end of that game where Florida was down to Auburn and Gainesville, Kiki Smith really kind of took over as the shot goes down by Ricards in the paint. It was Smith, and then Ricards finished up with 4 free throws at the end, but Smith had a couple of straight line left-handed drives late in that game, and you could tell Auburn taking that away from her so far today.
Oh, yeah. You have to sit. That's what they didn't do in the first matchup, as you said. They didn't sit on that left hand, and it was too easy. Way too easy for Kiki to get down. But this game, they're doing a great job of that and taking care of the ball as well.
Number 14, Christina Moore.
So the foul was actually called on Christina Moore there as bodies collided. So the second foul on Florida's Christina Moore. And then a travel committed by Jayla Jordan. Auburn's turned it over 5 times in this quarter alone. And a turnover on Florida. Timeout called by Johnny Harris.
30-second timeout called by Auburn. 30 seconds timeout.
We have talked about the fact that both these teams have been involved in a lot of close games, but Auburn has been on the losing end. I mean, look at lost by 3 at Bama, in overtime to Mizzou, the game we're talking about at Florida earlier. Single digits all the way down except the Kentucky game, but that was an even game with 5 minutes remaining. And then the heartbreaker, Arkansas, Amber Ramirez hitting the shot with 0.4 seconds when it was tied to give another heartbreaking loss to this Auburn team.
And I think the key thing here, when you look at this graphic here at the bottom there, they held the lead in the fourth quarter in all those games that are highlighted there: Mizzou, Florida, Bama, Kentucky, Arkansas, and that all just comes down to executing in those final possessions, and that's where I think Auburn needs to improve to get over that hump. But Brenda, Coach Harris did talk to us about, in practice, they put a lot of emphasis on special situations in game.
Yeah, what were some of those things that she was setting up her team with to try to prepare them better?
Just not committing fouls down the stretch.
Jayla Jordan hits that 3.
And then getting the shots that they want, the shots inside the paint. And then, of course, on the scouting report, being able to execute. We saw in the Arkansas game, Amber Ramirez getting that layup off the inbound play.
Streaking to the basket, nice pass. Good defensive effort, though, to stop the easy fast break. And Ricard's going to have an opportunity to go to the free throw line after the foul.
This is exactly what Florida wants to do. They want to get that defensive stop and push in transition.
Warren with a great block shot on the other end. Ricard's at the free throw line. A foul on Precious Johnson. Well, here's our women's basketball doubleheader Thursday night. Aaliyah Boston and number 1 South Carolina host Auburn at 7 Eastern. Then Texas A&M takes on Ole Miss at the Pavilion in Oxford. Both games right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Rickards now has 8 points. She's 3 of 4 from the field, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Wells knocks down the mid-range.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach said she wants her to be able to create more, but I like this, her being in that scoring position right now, especially with Coulibaly out of the game.
And a great defensive effort there for Auburn, knocking it away from Broughton. Florida's biggest lead of the first half was a 6-point lead at 33-27. Auburn's biggest lead was 4, so it has been a tight one here in the first half of play. We're counting down to just about a minute to go in the second quarter. Wells knifing through defenders, and she's fouled with an opportunity to go to the free throw line.
Foul number 15 is Florida.
And Kiki Smith, she was playing great defense, but you see here Sanaya Wells just able to rip and attack and draw that contact and get right to the free throw line. I mean, she's a tremendous player, very aggressive when attacking downhill.
Nina Ricards picked up the foul. Wells makes the first free throw. And Wells, one of the best free throw shooters in the country. She's making almost 93%. I didn't jinx her there as she makes both. #1 in the SEC, #6 in the country, and her free throws draw the Tigers within 1.
You know, I was going to say, Brenda, don't say it, but Sanaya Wells, a clutch shooter from the free throw line. There's no jinxing her in that.
That's right. She's too good of a free throw shooter to be jinxed.
Way too good.
Downhill drive once again, and high off the backboard for Ricards.
We talked about Broughton. Ricards is another one of those guards on Florida that gives strong offensive production too, and her attacking that rim, that's exactly what she needs to continue to do.
Foul called on Florida.
Foul number 11 is Florida.
This time on De Oliveira.
Line number 2 is Sanaya Wells.
And both teams are in the bonus here in the, well, we only have 10 seconds remaining, but both teams in the bonus, nevertheless. Wells puts in another. And Sanaya Wells has 10 points in the first half for Auburn. She's got the last 6 for Auburn. Ricards has the last 6 for Florida. But as Kiki Smith pulls up for the jumper, she's fouled. Amora Graves picked up the foul. Smith makes the first. This will be the 10th free throw attempt of the half for Florida. They're 9 for 10 from the charity stripe. Auburn can't get the shot to go, and Florida up by 3 at halftime.
And Brenda, it has just been a tight back and forth game with honestly Scott Grayson with the attack, and then Florida, you see here they answer back, Broughton from the three-point line, but Hugh says, I'm gonna do the same thing and hit it from the three-point line. And lastly, here we go, Kiki on the fast break to get Florida the lead by 3.
Ricards with 10 points in the first half. Coulibaly and Wells combining for 19. You see the second quarter shooting as these two tough defensive teams have allowed some points here as we start the third quarter. Florida up 39-36 in the third quarter. Again, Auburn in their pink jerseys for Play for K tonight. And Florida in their black road jerseys, and a foul called on the floor.
And for this Play for K game, Brenda, Coach Starkey and Coach Harris are both donating for every student that shows up to the game. And originally, Coach Harris was only donating $2, but I just got word that she bumped it up to $5 per student.
Wow, and 209 students, so that's going to be over $1,000. So that's fantastic. All will go, and if people don't know, this is the 15th anniversary of the K-Yow Cancer Fund. And so they are going to award 15 grants at $50,000 each in support of underserved programs nationwide and advancing research for all cancers affecting women. So donate now at kyow.com. Kiki Smith hit that one. And I just want to mention also Bob's wife, Sherry, is a cancer survivor. Bob Starkey's wife. We had that great feature at halftime. And so glad that his wife Sherry is a survivor, and this money for research, so important that the K-Yow Cancer Fund does.
And that's all part of the reason why Coach Starkey is just such a heavy advocate and so passionate about, this K-Yow Fund. And Sherry is such a good woman. I mean, she was at every home game, traveled as much as she could, and is healthy, and she's living her life now. Coach Starkey told me she's at, I don't know what the area specifically is, but they have a beach house close by in Florida, and she likes to go there all the time.
Sounds good. Sounds really good.
Yeah, that's a great deal he got coming to Auburn.
Nina Rickards picked up her second foul. Honesty Scott Grayson at the free throw line. She makes the second free throw to draw Auburn within 4. Kiki Smith had 8 points in the first half, and she gets the assist there to Faith Duke.
Great read and great drop pass. She's such a threat coming down, so when the defensive help comes over and helps, she makes that great read and that great pass.
Now, surprisingly, that's Smith's first assist of the game. She averages over 4 per game, but you're right. Let's take a look how she draws the defenders on that last drive.
Just attacking downhill, and look at all the help right there, but she does a great job of getting that drop pass right there to Faith Duke.
Auburn already with a couple of turnovers in their first 3 possessions. Broughton off on that one. As much as she has shot well in SEC play, in her 6 quarters, now 6+ quarters against Florida, she's 5 of 33. So she just hasn't, that's against Auburn, excuse me, just hasn't really been able to get it going against Auburn. Smith has it stolen away. Good on-ball defense for Auburn. Coulibaly passes off to Hughes for the basket.
Amazing. You talk about her versatility, her being able to get the steal and get up the court, and then have that poise and IQ to make a great pass in transition.
Oh, and there she gets an offensive foul. That's going to be her 3rd foul after a great steal on the possession before.
Versatility is being shown here. She's got the hands, got the steal from Kiki, and was able to go down and have that great drop pass to Hughes for the layup.
But that's her 3rd foul, and remember the last time these two met, Coulibaly picked up a foul, and they may have called her for her 4th one there, trying to grab the ball. Or is that on Florida? Let's take a look. It's the 4th personal foul on Coulibaly, and she picked up her 4th foul with about 2.5 minutes the first time these two met. And boy, that's just unfortunate, as that's a hustle play for the ball.
Yeah, that's tough. Just a hustle play, and crucial call, and crucial that she's on the bench right now.
Foul called on the Gators. But just to revisit that, Coulibaly picked up her 4th foul with about 2:40 remaining in the game in Gainesville, and she reacted in frustration and bounced the ball hard off the floor and got a technical, which resulted in her 5th foul, and she fouled out and wasn't there for her team down the stretch, and they missed her. Well, now she picks up her 4th foul on an unfortunate call, or an unfortunate situation, with over 7 minutes remaining. But coming back is Annie Hughes. Auburn going to need more of that with Coulibaly not on the court.
And that's what it's about. Other players stepping up and getting stops like they just did on the defensive end. And we can see if they capitalize off of it, and they do with the three-point shot.
Wiggins from the corner. An 8-0 run for Auburn to take the lead. Timeout on the floor. So Auburn with the bad luck with Coulibaly.
I think always they look to as their secondary scorer, and I want to see more production from her offensively.
And they got that nice three from Zaria Wiggins. That was just her 5th three-pointer all year long. So what does Florida have now to answer back out of the timeout? Ricards has been good. She had 10 in the first half, misses there. The battle for the rebound. Precious Johnson goes on the floor to battle Ricards. Florida possession arrow. Ricards the only player in double figures so far for the Gators. Smith has 8, Broughton has 7. Broughton cast it out beyond half court. And in the passing lane is Hughes all the way for the bucket. You said it might have to be Hughes. She's had 7 points here in the third.
And I'll tell you what I love so much about Hughes. She's not the most athletic player, right? But she plays between the ears. She makes good reads. She knows the scout. She knows what pass is coming next, and that's why she was able to get that steal.
Broughton knocks down the jumper to end the 10-0 run for Kelly Ray Finley's squad. Smith out ahead to Broughton, in between defenders, misses that one, but an offensive board and a reset. Broughton back out to the baseline, knocks that three-pointer down, and she's in double figures.
That's tough right there. That's an example of taking advantage of the second chance opportunity you get. Broughton just knocking down a shot right there on the side from the three-point line.
And an illegal screen away from the ball, I believe, on Auburn.
Play of the game for me right here. Hughes stepping up and just getting the steal and being able to convert on the layup. And we talked about Zippy Broughton and her clutch shots, able to hit that three.
So Johnson picked up her third foul. Precious Johnson, the 6'5" sophomore that transferred from Texas. So she will sit down on the bench. Jordan Merritt to trigger it in for Auburn. And Jayla Jordan is in the game for Auburn, replacing Johnson. Smith going strong with that left hand, rims in and out. Jordan with the rebound and another jump ball, this time possession arrow Auburn. So an interesting and entertaining third quarter. Auburn outscoring the Gators 11-10 here in the third period, but the Gators with a 1-point lead. And what an impact Dawn Staley is having on so many. Just so great to see. As we're back here at Auburn Arena, Florida leading by 1, under 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Florida's biggest lead of the game was a 6-point cushion. Auburn's biggest lead, a 4-point lead. And with that three-pointer, Jayla Gordon knocks it down. That's a third three-pointer of the quarter for Auburn, and they take a 2-point lead.
And it's funny because Coach mentioned, she said, I know she can hit those outside shots, but I want her to get more buckets in the paint. But Jayla Jordan has showed up and hit quite a few of those outside shots, like you said, including those threes that she's had.
Jordan has 3 three-pointers on the game. Getting out in the passing lane, Jordan Merritt with the score. She got into foul trouble early, and she's a player that averages over 10 points per game for Florida, so just creating her own offense there.
And that's exactly what Florida wants to do. Be aggressive, get in attacking lanes, and get their fast break points.
And back-to-back turnovers for the Tigers.
Jayla Jordan just sets the screen, pick and pop right here, and able to get the three right at the top of the arc. And Merritt, a steal, and is just able to get out on the break and get the easy lay-in for Florida. And then here you see another block, just so aggressive and so stout defensively, especially down the stretch here in this third quarter.
The foul was called on Wiggins.
Checking in for Auburn, number 23, Honesty Scott Grayson.
Kelly Ray Finley talks to her troops on the side, and Wiggins comes to the sideline. First free throw is good. Our Wednesday night men's basketball doubleheader on the SEC Network starts at 7 Eastern with Georgia at the Maravich Center to take on Darius Days, Tari Eason, and LSU. Then Jabari Smith and number 2 Auburn host Vandy. You can also watch these games on the ESPN app. After the free throws, a steal from Florida. Merritt made both free throws, but the missed attempt. Auburn with its 4th three-pointer of the quarter. This time it's Honesty Scott Grayson.
Huge momentum and huge play right there for Auburn after they turned the ball over in that previous possession.
And a foul called on Auburn. The remarkable thing for Auburn is they have 6 turnovers in the third quarter, but they're also on fire from three-point range, and they've made 4 three-pointers, so it's either feast or famine for Auburn in the third quarter.
Yeah, and Honesty Grayson just sets up and calls corner pocket right there, hitting the clutch three.
And the 7 three-pointers that Auburn has made tonight ties a season high. So Scott Grayson picked up the foul, her first. Weish is at the free throw line for Florida. She tied it with her first, misses the second. Asia, we've had 5 ties and 11 lead changes in this game.
It's been back and forth. Sorry, Rena, go ahead.
Well, I was just and think about it. Auburn's 1-10 in the league, and Florida's 8-3 and sitting at 4. And how close these teams are matched up. It shows the hairline difference between teams in winning and losing games.
And that's the SEC. Welcome. That's what you're going to get every night from every single team in this conference.
Kiki Smith draws the foul on Jayla Jordan. That's her 3rd foul.
At the line, North Florida, number 1, Kiki Smith, 2 shots.
2 shots.
First free throw miss of the night for Kiki Smith. She had made both of her attempts, is 3 of 8 from the field. She's got 8. And she makes that one to regain the lead for Florida. This Gator squad has not lost on the road in SEC play. They're 5-0 on the road. They've beaten 5 ranked teams in SEC play. They've moved up to 17 in the national rankings, but they are having a hard time shaking this Auburn squad.
Auburn, number 0, Amara Graves.
Scott Grayson checking out. We need to make sure we get in a picture of Honesty Scott Grayson and her teammate who's calling the game with me tonight when they were younger. We've got a really great picture we're going to have to show you later. Third career double-double for Scott Grayson, who's now on the bench. She's got 10 points and 10 rebounds. And a foul committed that will send Jordan Merritt to the free throw line.
And that's just smart by Florida, not just trying to get it in the paint and getting a high percentage shot, but attacking the Auburn players that they know are in foul trouble. Auburn not having a lot of depth, and we know them fouling out, especially when we talk about Honesty Grayson and Aisha Coulibaly in the last game. Players fouling out for Auburn is crucial. So they're going to keep looking to attack.
So now Jayla Jordan has 4 fouls. Coulibaly on the bench with the 4 fouls, and this is the third straight trip to the free throw line for Florida. Jordan Merritt makes both. Tough drive into the paint for Bostic, who's into the game. And a nifty pass there to set up the shot for Merritt.
Well, Hughes just played very aggressive, overplayed that first pass, and the rotation was off, so Florida was just able to get an easy bucket weak side.
Offensive foul away from the ball, and Florida is on a 10-3 run.
Now you see Hughes out here overplaying the pass, and then Ricard just makes the great read and that great drop pass right there to Merritt.
So Auburn shooting themselves in the foot. They've got 9 turnovers here in the third quarter alone. Florida has 10 turnovers in the entire game. Auburn was keeping itself close with those 3-pointers, but now they're giving Florida too many trips to the free throw line. And if Florida scores here, it will be their biggest lead of the game. The scramble. Ricards gets the offensive rebound. Under a minute to play in the third quarter. Nice pass inside, but the foul committed before the shot. Christina Moore was fouled. And another trip to the free throw line for Florida.
And it starts with the rebounding. Auburn has to do a better job of securing defensive rebounds. Florida has 13 points, second chance points. And in these games, it comes down to who's going to provide more possessions for their team. And that's what Florida's doing right now, simply just by securing the offensive rebound.
So Florida shot 10 free throws in the first half, and they were 9 for 10. Now they've attempted 10 free throws here in the third quarter. They're 17 of 20 overall in the game for 85%. Largest lead for the Gators. They're on an 8-0 run. Remember, Coulibaly on the bench with the 4 fouls, has been for much of the third quarter. Jayla Jordan also on the bench with 4 fouls for Auburn. And a foul in the backcourt on Kiki Smith. That's her first foul.
They have another look at the foul. Yeah, she just reached in, a lot of body, a lot of contact there in the push, and Kiki Smith getting that foul.
And you can be moving. You don't have to be set if you're defensive, but you have to be in legal guarding position, and she bodied up to commit that foul. 6 seconds left in the third quarter. Auburn with a chance here for another three. Scott Grayson too long on that, but an offensive rebound and putback goes in for Graves. So a nice lift for Auburn, and she was fouled. I believe she was fouled, yes. They're coming over to call the foul.
Play on the floor is under review.
So they're going to, I believe Mark Zentz talking about the review of the time on the clock. Did she get the shot off? Well, it was close, wasn't it, Asia?
It was close, but I thought she got it. Let's see another look here.
Whew. Just
It's like down to the nub at the top of the finger.
Oh, is her finger still touching it? It looks like the very tip of her finger may still be touching it.
That's tough.
Mark Zentz, Bev Roberts, Carlina Tobin are officials. So the 2 points on the board right now were recorded or as if that was made before the end of the quarter. And it is just by the tip of the finger, whether it was still touching her hand or out of her possession. They have to find convincing evidence to overturn it when they go back. And did the foul occur before time expired? And you see the fist of Mark Zentz up here on the wing on the court going up. So we'll listen in for his explanation.
.1 on the game clock. The basket's good. Shoot one.
So there's your explanation. The basket counted. The foul was committed before the end of the quarter, and Amora Graves, the freshman, will go to the free throw line to try to draw Auburn within 4.
And that was just a great play. Yeah, great play for her being there on the weak side. You know, Coach talked, we asked Coach, we said, who are some of the players off the bench that are going to be key for this game? And Amara Graves was one of the players that she mentioned. She said, you know, she comes in, she does what she needs to do. She can shoot the ball, just needs more reps and more confidence in her shot. But she was looking pretty confident on that offensive rebound.
Yeah, that's a big rebound in that situation. The three-pointer off the mark and had the presence of mind to rebound and go back up with it quickly with 0.1 seconds remaining. Graves has only been to the free throw line 8 times all season. She's made 5. She missed that one, and will go to the fourth quarter with the Gators leading by 5. From beyond the arc, but they had 9 turnovers, and they also sent Florida to the free throw line. They had 10 fouls And Florida was 8 for 10 from the free throw line and had 8 points off turnovers. So a lot going on out here as we enter the fourth quarter. Florida leading 40-55. Florida has made a living this year winning the close games. Auburn has lost the close games. We'll see how that plays out in this one. Broughton resetting. Kiki Smith calling for the screen. Smith, nice pass inside, and another foul committed for an and one opportunity. Beautiful play to set up Christina Moore.
Kiki Smith, that's such a great read right there. All eyes are on her, but she sees Moore cutting down to the basket and open and giving her that great pass to be able to get the finish and the and one.
Well, she can't complete the and one. Scott Grayson picked up the foul. That's her second. Coulibaly not back on the court yet for Auburn. She picked up her fourth foul with about 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. Jayla Jordan also has 4 fouls for Auburn. Graves, who had that rebound and put back at the quarter break, misses that jumper. Christina Moore nails a three-pointer. Moore now the fourth player for Florida in double figures. She's got 13. Largest lead of the game for Florida. Trying to build on it, transition. Zippy Broughton with the bucket. And a 7-0 run for Florida to start the fourth quarter. And Johnny Harris going to have to get Coulibaly back into the ball game with her 4 fouls.
And you wonder how this is going to impact her play defensively, just knowing that you have to play defense, but you also have to be disciplined and maybe not be too overly aggressive so you don't commit that 5th foul, because she's needed down the stretch.
Bostic playing point guard right now for Auburn. Scott Grayson, nice backdoor to Hughes, who has it blocked. Precious Johnson grabs it, and she's fouled. Precious Johnson doing a nice job keeping it away from the Florida defenders that time to not be tied up. That's on Jordan Merritt, her 4th foul. And Moore checking out for Florida. Into the paint, bouncing around and in, and there's Coulibaly's impact immediately. And the drive from Broughton. Here's our women's basketball doubleheader Thursday night. Aaliyah Boston and #1 South Carolina host Auburn at 7 Eastern. Then Texas A&M takes on Ole Miss at the Pavilion in Oxford. Both games are right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. If Florida would get the win tonight, they would be in a tie with LSU for 3rd place. And who would have thought that at the beginning of the year? Coulibaly off the mark. Florida with 5 wins over ranked teams in the SEC.
And Florida doing that, they're just one of a few of the teams in the country that have been able to get at least five top 25 wins, and the other teams being South Carolina, Michigan, Louisville, NC State, Stanford, and Tennessee. So you talk about the caliber and level that they're playing at to be on that A list right there.
Right.
That says a lot about the Florida play and how well they've been doing.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was an offensive foul, though, on Kiki Smith. Florida with wins over A&M, Kentucky when they were ranked, LSU, Tennessee, and Georgia. And an offensive foul away from the basketball.
Number 12 is Auburn, Bostic. First personal foul, second team foul.
On Bostic. I'm sorry, on Wells. No, it is on Bostic, her first. Florida with a 12-point lead.
Florida back to number 11, and Welly Taylor Brown. Timeout.
And a timeout for Auburn. De Oliveira knocks down a jumper, and Florida building on its lead. It's been close throughout, but Florida outscoring the Tigers 11-2 in the fourth quarter. And that should be an interesting one between South Carolina and Tennessee. Tennessee was in first place in the SEC until getting knocked off by each of these two teams that are playing here tonight. The victory by Auburn, the shocking victory by Auburn, their lone win of SEC play, and then Florida also getting the victory over Tennessee. So Tennessee going into South Carolina needs that victory, and so much on the line in the SEC race.
And I know Tennessee, they're hungry for that win. They have not played South Carolina yet, and they see how South Carolina's been putting a beating on a lot of these teams. So they're thinking, you know what? Let's go in and give them a taste of their own medicine. Very excited for that matchup.
Number 23, Honesty Scott Grayson.
Honesty Scott Grayson with the jumper. Auburn going to need a lot more of that. Florida has been able to score off the Auburn turnovers. Auburn with 19 turnovers, and Florida has 20 points off those turnovers. It's the 8th time they've done that this year, and we talked in this game about this precious picture. Number 32 in the front row is my partner, Asia Ellison. She was on the same team as Honesty Scott Grayson in high school.
Yeah, I was styling, as you can see, with my pink cast, but you talk about Honesty Scott Grayson. She was in middle school and had to step up and play point guard on our high school team, and we were ranked number 4 in the country at the time, but 2 of our point guards got injured, and she stepped up and played. She was so huge, and I mean, it's no wonder that she was a McDonald's All-American and then went to a top program like Baylor and is now doing great things for the Auburn Tigers.
And she's got 14 points tonight and has been fearless. And you can see where that fearlessness came from. And then, yeah, you have a cast on there. That's not good.
And I had a Liz Frank injury that took me out my entire senior year season. I actually injured myself during my junior year.
Well, we appreciate you sharing that picture with us. That was fun to see, that history with Honesty Scott Grayson. Now, a technical has just been called on Faith Dute. So things getting a little heated here. Dute pleading her case. And a little too much, and I think that's the gesture that it results in the technical from Mark Zentz there. So it will give Dute her 4th foul, adding that technical on. Sanaya Wells will go to the free throw line. And Asia, I mean, you've been in these heated games, or you've been frustrated at times. This is just a situation where you can't let your emotions get the best of you. Florida has a 10-point lead right now. They don't want to open the door for Auburn right now.
Yeah, you have to be smart. And yes, there's 4 minutes left, but who knows what will happen down the stretch where you look back and you say, well, you know, what would have been the difference if I didn't get that tech and didn't let them go to the free throw line? And then we have Sanaya Wells at the free throw line, who is their best free throw shooter. And I didn't jinx it there, so she was able to get it. Now Auburn, they get the possession back.
So
I hesitated to say it at first. I didn't want to be the one. It would be me to be the one to jinx it.
Well, Wells now 6 for 6 from the free throw line. She's got 12 points. And remember, when these two played down in Gainesville, it was actually the technical against Koulibaly that made a big difference, gave her her 5th foul of the game, and did not allow her to be available down the stretch. So we'll see if now the technical and possession for Auburn, they're within 8 if they can chip away on this possession. Honesty, Scott Grayson, who you just talked about, who's been such a terror since middle school, misses that drive to the basket.
And she missed the drive, but that's exactly what I want to see, is more scoring and more offensive production specifically from her. She's a leader. We know she can score, and we know that she can step up. She has proved that in the last few games where she can step up and score. And, I mean, you saw that against Arkansas, even in their loss.
In front of the Florida bench, Kelly Rae Finley talks so strongly about her assistant coaches that she has on her staff as Kiki Smith steps out of bounds. But Julie Plank, one of those assistant coaches who was such a great hire for Kelly Rae Finley this summer. She 12 years in the WNBA, scouted the WNBA after that, 10 years at Stanford before that. Such an asset for Kelly Rae Finley's staff at Florida. Timeout on the court. Florida gathering around with the 8-point lead.
And that last possession, defensive possession there by Auburn, they did a tremendously great job on Kiki Smith. A lot of the problem that they've had with her matchup the last game was that they weren't sitting on that left hand. She was getting too many easy lay-ins on the left side, but Sanaya Wells doing a great job forcing her to go right, and she just went right and was under the basket, and there was a lot of help there, which forced her to step out of bounds.
So the timeout
Keep
called
sitting on that left hand.
Yeah, and then timeout was called because of 3 straight turnovers for Florida. Auburn is on a 6-0 run. And it looks like Florida going to pick up full court here to give some pressure to Auburn. Koulibaly changing directions, passing off. Precious Johnson can't score it, but it's off Florida. Shot clock resets to 20. Foul on Florida on Zippy Broughton.
At the line for the Tigers, number 23, Honesty.
You watch Broughton and Honesty here. She kind of held her in place, and Honesty couldn't run and get to where she needed to go, and that's why they called the foul there. She was trying to come off the curl screen.
Well, tonight, our next SEC Inside grants you an all-access pass to the Tennessee Lady Vols basketball program at 9 Eastern. Then it's a look at the Vandy men's team. You'll get never-before-seen footage and sound from players and coaches, a real behind-the-scenes look, only right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. So it's a 7-point lead for Florida. Broughton backs it out. Dishes inside, beautiful pass to set up Merritt.
Yeah, that was just a great pass. Just a great pass, and no one was talking on defense. Too easy for Merritt down there, wide open in the lane, cutting down.
That shot ended a 7-0 run that Auburn had. Coulibaly spinning in traffic, has it stolen away. Rimdahl comes away with it, and then a foul committed by Honesty Scott Grayson.
Number 23 of Auburn, Honesty Scott Grayson. Third personal foul for team foul.
That's her third foul and the fourth team foul of the quarter. Precious Johnson out. Broughton taking a seat with 16 points. She got it going here in the second half to go along with 6 rebounds and 3 assists. She's leading the way for the Gators. Merritt and Moore behind her with 13, and Ricards has 10. She had all 10 of those in the first half. Kiki Smith with 9 points and a couple of assists. She drives all the way. There's one of those straight line drives on the left side that Auburn's really not been allowing this game, but it opened up that time.
Yeah, and Kiki Smith, just a hard player to guard. Even when you have her going right, she still could find a way to go left and get a
Scott
bucket.
Grayson.
Great answer back, yes, by Honesty Scott Grayson.
2 minutes remaining. The drive, the blocking foul, and the basket is good. Scott Grayson picks up the foul, and an opportunity for an and one for De Oliveira.
Yeah, Scott Grayson was right inside the restricted area. Just if she would have came over just a little bit earlier on help side, she would have been able to have 2 feet, not even just outside the restricted area, but maybe even outside the paint for earlier help where she could have drawn that charge.
4th foul for Scott Grayson, so now 4 of the Tigers have 4 fouls, and De Oliveira able to finish the 3-point play to give Florida the 12-point lead. Coulibaly scores that one and draws within 10. There's still time, but it's ticking away. And that one gets away from Smith.
There we go. You force her right and you make great things happen on the defensive end, forcing that turnover. Another turnover from Smith going to the right side.
5 turnovers for Florida in the 4th quarter.
And when you're trying to chip away with points to get a win, it's important not just defensively, but to be able to convert on the offensive end.
Scott Grayson with an offensive rebound, reverse layup, and she draws within 8. And this is where the 4 fouls for 4 different Auburn players kind of comes into play. They're going to have to make a decision whether they're going to go ahead and foul and have people foul out. A lot of time ticking away. Coulibaly able to secure the rebound, and it's going to be a foul on Ricards, but a lot of time went off the clock for the Tigers.
Yeah, you would think they would try to foul, but as you said, I think it's kind of like a pick your poison decision making and who's going to foul with the Auburn players who are in foul trouble right now.
Coulibaly makes the first free throw. She's 2 for 4 from the line today. She's got 14 points, but she sat out a majority of the 3rd quarter after she picked up her 4th foul. And a timeout called. Florida called the timeout so they could advance it to the front court, leading by 6, 28.9 remaining. Florida has had so many ranked teams that they have played. They have beaten the 5 ranked teams, and now ahead they have Arkansas. They go to LSU, who they had beaten at home by just 1, and then at Vandy, and finish up with Missouri. So time is ticking down in SEC play as we get ready for SEC postseason. March Madness coming up. A lot to be decided, though, in these last couple of weeks. And a hand on the ball by Coulibaly. She gets the steal, goes in, can't get it to go, puts it up again. Boy, a lot of colliding of bodies, and finally the foul called on De Oliveira, and Auburn with a chance here.
And just a great hustle play by Auburn. It started with Coulibaly on the steal, and she attacked but wasn't able to finish. Got her own rebound, tried to put it back up again, wasn't able to get it, but honesty, Scott Grayson was there being aggressive and drew the contact, and now she's rewarded with a chance at the charity stripe.
She's got 19 points. 71% free throw shooter on the year, hits that one. She's missed a couple of free throws earlier today. She's 3 of 5. But with this free throw, she draws Auburn within 4. She's got 11 points here in the fourth quarter.
And Auburn looking to turn it up.
And Florida calls the timeout. Last timeout called by Florida, and we've talked about it throughout the game. So many close calls, Asia, for this Auburn team this year.
So many close calls because they compete, because they play hard. That's where Coach says their strengths are. But with that, you have to be disciplined. You have to make great decisions. You have to be poised down the stretch, and they've practiced for these moments, game situations. So you wonder in practice, for this moment, will what they do in practice translate over into this game?
It was tied at the end of the game with Arkansas, and Amber Ramirez hit a banker with 0.4 seconds remaining. That's the last game that Auburn had. They've made a 17-7 run. So Florida will advance it to the front court, up by 4. They have no timeouts to call if they have trouble inbounding it. Auburn still with 2 timeouts. But Coulibaly has 4 fouls. Jordan, Scott Grayson, and Johnson all do also. Wells is on the court without 4 fouls. And Bostic is too, but a lot of time, and Wells, though, commits the foul.
That was number 2 is on Samantha Wells.
That's her 3rd foul.
Second personal foul. For Florida Clown, number 4 is Zippy Broughton. 2 shots.
Zippy Broughton, who has been so clutch, big-time shot maker in big moments in so many of Florida's victories, hits the first free throw. She's got 17 points on the night. That was her first free throw attempt. She makes the second to make it a 6-point ball game. Zippy's parents from not too far away in Wetumpka, Alabama, watching from the sideline.
And Zippy Broughton, clutch and has been huge tonight. You see here with the lay-in, she has 18 points thus far on the night as she's got from those 2 free throws, being able to hit from outside, being able to hit on the 1 dribble pull-up. She's showing out for mom and dad in the Auburn arena.
She sure is, and you can see what a difference. The transfer from Rutgers, just 5.5 points a game and only shooting 30% in non-conference play, and she has stepped it up in conference play. You see her numbers tonight with 18, but averaging 14 points plus in SEC play. So down 6, Auburn with the ball with 15.2. They've made 7 3-pointers in this game, which is tie for their highest number on the season. And Hughes drains a 3 to draw within 3. Florida doesn't have a timeout here. And a quick foul from Auburn. How about the shot from Annie Hughes to draw Auburn within 3?
Look at the replay here. Kick out to Hughes, and she steps up and makes the clutch 3. Just ready and just spotting up when she is needed.
She's 3 for 3 from three-point range. Auburn, a season-high 8 3-pointers on 18 attempts. So even though they had the 20 turnovers, the three-pointers kept them close, but now it's up to Kiki Smith to try to extend this to a 2-possession game, and you would expect the graduate student, the 5th-year player who's done so much for Florida this season and throughout her career, to hit that one. But she misses the second, and Florida gets the offensive rebound. Auburn had a chance there with the missed free throw, but Florida with the offensive board and a foul committed with 5.4 remaining. And Kelly Ray Finley can have a little sigh of relief on the sideline. The 5th foul committed on Scott Grayson. What a game for her, though, with 21 points and 14 rebounds. Christina Moore at the line to salt things away for Florida. So Florida stays undefeated on the road in SEC play, and 83 points, the most given up by Auburn this year. A big win for Florida, withstood Auburn coming back, Asia.
Florida stayed together. It was a tight game. It was back and forth, but they were able to stay together and execute down the stretch, and that was a lot because of their veteranship and leadership by Kiki Smith. Great game for the Florida Gators tonight.
4 players in double figures led by Zippy Broughton. Actually 5 players. She had 18, Moore had 15, Merritt with 13, Kiki Smith with 12, and Rickards